up, y'all? It's 10 at 3 time at Tennessee. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Hope everything in your life is going well here on this Tuesday, January the 13th, 2026, coming to you from WBIR World Headquarters, the room that I would still like to call 10 Streamerfeller Plaza, in which they repeatedly tell me I cannot call it that. Regardless, I think we're calling it the 10 Streaming Center. Here with Elijah Nixon and with Daniel back there on the ones and twos. Fellas, how are we today?
Oh, I'm doing amazing. Beautiful Tuesday. Got a big game tonight for the Tennessee basketball Vols, so we'll see what that entails for them at Texas A&M. But I'm doing well. It's still playoff football alive for me.
Yes, there is. We'll talk about that here in just a second because there absolutely is. Daniel, how you doing back there, man?
Oh, I'm doing great. I'm flying solo. Happy to be here.
Yeah, I have an interesting note here at the beginning of the podcast today. I'm sitting here looking at our my command HQ over here because for some reason, even though there's a lot of smart people here, they let someone like me get close to way too many buttons. One of them is a big button that just says help with an exclamation mark. And I am so tempted to hit that button just to see what it does. I'm probably not going to do it.
Yeah, don't press that today. I think Tom instantly appears, but I'm not sure.
I thought it was less.
Tom just appears out of the ether.
I thought it would be less.
Enter Lord of the Streams, Tom Barclay. Here he comes. what if it's like the distress? It's like the SOS, and you get like Tom, Bob, Les. Todd Howell comes in. Was there weather situation? What's going on? That's like the bugle call at the end of Anchorman where you assemble the news team.
That's the first alert button.
Wherever they are. Around the world. You know what? I've often wondered since stepping into the TV world how, because someone's first stepping into it, have like, I don't know, a million Anchorman jokes that just run through my head all day long. But I constantly think, I bet everybody in this building did that a long time ago and they're sick and tired of it, so I don't do it. But I think about them constantly, like all the time. And I have to pretend that they're not there in my head. But that's what I think the help button is the bugle call that Ron Burgundy sends at the end of Anchorman to assemble the news team. But and Baxter comes too, although Baxter would be Gus, of course, coming over from Fort Rucker, just about a mile down the road there. Yeah. We got a lot to talk about today. Tennessee remains active both ways in the portal. There's a lot going on there. One safety enters, one safety exits. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about Tennessee basketball. Got a big game tonight against Texas A&M, which scores about 100 and gajillion points per game. If you've never seen Buckyball, you're gonna have, I think, fun watching this. It also might feel a little bit hectic. It's a little bit crazy. These guys have scored 100 points. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times already this season, and they've gone up to 118 points in a game this season. So they get up and down, they shoot the rock, they force turnovers, they're hectic, which against the Tennessee team that does not always value the basketball at a high level. That's interesting, and we'll talk with Dwayne Brown II here a little bit later in the program. Tennessee's freshman forward. Got some stuff from him entering the game this evening. First, though, let's get into the portal. Where in the past 23 hours, Tennessee has remained active. As of today, the Vols added safety TJ Metcalf from Michigan. So if you're keeping score, that's 11 players that we know of as of 3:05 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday, January the 13th, 2026. We timestamp that because the portal is nuts, and it changes all the time. That's where we are right now. That's where things stand right now. You got TJ Metcalf, this Birmingham, Alabama native, spent 2 seasons at Arkansas, was on the Arkansas team that upset Tennessee during the year Tennessee went to the college football playoff. So that happened. He had 7 tackles in that game, by the way. He was an honorable mention, all Big Ten, by the writers and the coaches this season. He had what I think is a productive season. He spent 2 seasons at Arkansas, then challenges himself, goes up to Michigan, The Sharon Moore stuff happens, so 30 guys plus from Michigan going to the portal. He's one of them, and he will be playing his fourth and final season of college football in Knoxville, Tennessee, closer to home than he's been at any point during his career. So that's nice, but it's at the point now where when guys come in from the portal, you're often going to see guys with a late entrance or exit out of the portal. And I don't know if I can directly connect these two things. But Caleb Beasley has left Tennessee, or he's not left Tennessee football. He has stepped into the portal. He's out there, 13 games as a reserve this season, 24 tackles. Former four-star prospect from Nashville there at Lipscomb, and a good player. But I think if you – famous last words, of course, right? Mm-hmm. I think if you have to get rid of Caleb Beasley to get T.J. Metcalf, I think you would probably take that trade. 2 years of Caleb Beasley versus one of Metcalf, I think I'd make that trade.
Yeah, I think I would too. I mean, and on top of that with Caleb, I mean, they got 1,000 safeties in this portal. So he was just seeing himself sink further and further in his depth chart anyway. But I think with, like you just said, with TJ, who's a proven guy who played at the Big Ten level, with Michigan, and now coming down to SEC football.
Coming back to SEC football,
coming back, yeah. So it's like he has a They know that, probably experience is what's going to lead that defense. And also with, I'm pretty sure, I kept thinking the defensive back coach that came home from Ohio State.
Which one? The corners coach?
The corners coach.
The corners coach is Michael Johnson. Michael Johnson Jr.
Yeah, with him probably seeing him up close and personal last year or the past couple of seasons or how long he was at Michigan. He probably said, "Hey, I like this kid anyway, so let's grab him and let's get him over here." So I think it worked out for them, and especially with the defense that they want to run now.
Yeah, and what you're seeing with this, obviously with this portal class, is a lot of connections. You're seeing guys who have either coached these guys before, or they've coached against these guys before, or they've recruited them before. There's not a lot of complete newness here in this. There's obviously, and we talked about this, when you add someone like Jim Knowles as your defensive coordinator, you're not just adding one of the guys with the best sort of reputations in college football as a builder of defenses, of elite defenses. You're getting a kind of a cascade effect from that. Like you're getting assistant coaches who are top-notch assistant coaches who want to go work with him. You're going to get players who want to come out of the portal and come play for him. He's someone whose reputation sells itself. And so that's how you get, Anthony Poindexter to come with him. That's how you get, the corners coach to come with him. That's how you go get 11 out of 11 players in the portal Tennessee's added so far, 8 of them are defensive players. 4 of them are defensive backs. So what you're seeing here is, again, there's work to do. We'll talk about the quarterback situation in a minute because Sam Levitt's officially off the board now. Bo Pibula is officially off the board now. Questions there, and they're going to have to get answered. We're not going to ignore that. But I think what you're seeing by and large this offseason is what I said going into it, which was Josh Heupel needs to understand this assignment. And I think to this point, he mostly has understood that assignment. He has cleaned house on the defensive staff. He has looked at that secondary that he had to watch like everybody else did for 3 or 4 months, just struggle at times, and some of your stars weren't there. So it's one of those weird times where you might have 2 first-round corners drafted from your defense, and you might have in that defense, on that roster, 4 corners who could go in the first round at some point, because that could be Gibson and Hood this season. That could be Ty Redmond in 2 years or 3 years. That could be Ricky Gibson III, who's now at A&M next season. And Arion Carter, a good player, Joshua Josephs. There were pieces on that defense that were very good. But those guys didn't stay healthy. There were some issues there. They didn't play well. And so it would just be rare to me that you have a defensive roster that has 4 first-round corners or 4 first-round potential corners on it. Premium position, right? And you aren't a very good defense. But Josh Heupel understood that assignment. He has cleaned house with the staff, Elijah, and now he's saying, I needed to get dudes in this secondary, and I've gotten a couple guys and a couple potential dudes.
And I agree, because that's what they needed last year. That was a big problem for them. So I think he's refueled and recharged at the linebacker position. I think he's refueled. I think he's pretty solid at the defensive end line position, but the secondary position was the most, because think about it, the departures that you just talked about. Jamal McCoy's gone, Colton Hood's gone, Ricky Gibson decided to leave. How do you replace these guys? You replace them with ballers, especially like we all talked about. It's a schedule that they have next year that they're going to have to play some guys coming in this building with in Neyland Stadium, where you got LSU coming in, you have Auburn coming in, you have Alabama coming in, you have teams coming in that you're not trying to be their homecoming game. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, they did what they had to do defensively, picking up those guys that can play well in the back end, because I think the front end is solid for Tennessee. It's just the back end. How do you fix that? And I think right now on paper it looks good. We just can't wait to see how it's all put together.
And there was another edge addition last night that happened between. Again, we say we'll see in 23 hours unless it's the weekend. We say we'll see in 71 hours, but so many things can happen during that time. And Tennessee goes down and gets Jordan Norman, an edge player from Tulane who had, I believe, 6-7 sacks last season, something like that. And I will never say 6-7 intentionally, so don't go anywhere near that. I never said that saying, and I want that saying retired. But he had either 6 sacks or 7 sacks last season for Tulane. 6'4", 250. He's got good size, good presence. There's clips of him standing up, and there's some with his hand in the ground, affecting the quarterback, making plays. And so if you're going to lose Herring and you're going to lose Jordan Ross, well, go get 2 of the top edge guys in the portal. Boom, there you go. You've answered that question. I still think maybe you could use one more if it's the right guy, but they've got some guys coming in that they like too, and they're bringing back Christian Gass, a young player that they like there. And I still think there's a couple pieces on that defense that you absolutely would not turn down if you were able to get them. But here's what I like about this, Elijah. This is what I like. We'll talk about the quarterback questions in a minute, because they're legitimate questions, and we're not ignoring them. I will say this, though. If you're going to give benefit of the doubt to Josh Heupel in any way, there should be many where you give him at least some benefit of the doubt. But number one on that list, he'll put a good offense on the field. He'll put a decent offense on the field. He took Nico Iamaleava as a first-year starter who was a little bit limited, couldn't run the whole offense, got that team to the playoff and put some points up on the board, found ways to give those guys success, took care of the ball. He puts together offenses that score points. Now, have some coordinators maybe started to figure out some ways to give this system problems? Yes. But I think Heupel's also made some adjustments that have sort of added some wrinkles over time that have kind of evened that chess match a little bit. Like, I think I just what this team needed was new blood on defense, both in the coaching staff and in the personnel, because that's the area where, you know, you needed to get better, because I don't know that Heupel, left to his own devices, would put together an elite defense. I think you give him some little coaching overhauls there. You give him some players that they needed, some dudes. I mean, look at Miami. Look at how many mistakes that team makes, but they're still going to play for a natty because the dudes are there and the dudes make plays. And if you still, I think, need a veteran quarterback, but I think they're going to be okay offensively for the most part. Better chance than not. Defense is where they just needed to make changes.
Yeah, and I agree with you. It's just frustrating because I'm gonna say this. I wasn't a Tennessee fan for how many years as these guys are for the Vols fans. But
Not a lot of Tennessee fans walking around New Haven, Connecticut.
No, I don't think so. But I want to say that maybe they're ready just to see one complete team. You know, one time they'll see the offensive side of the ball be great. Another year they'll see like a defensive side of the ball be great. They're just waiting to see one complete team. Like, I'm not saying that you have to have that 2019 LSU roster or that 2015 Bama roster or the 90s or 2000s Miami roster. I think they're just ready to see one complete roster and see how far that can go, because I think we all know that Josh Heupel's a special head coach. And I think that defensively, when Tim Banks in that 2024 campaign, I think that everybody had their hopes high because Josh Heupel finally had a defense. He didn't have the best offense that year, but Just imagine if that defense was with the offense this year. That's what they're trying to figure out. I think that's what fans are waiting to see. That's why I think they were so high on a Sam Levitt, or if they would have got Sorsby and things of that nature, because they're ready to see just one complete season where you can have both defensively and offensively, because Tennessee's due for a natty. And I think fans want to see it, there's no doubt in my mind that Heupel wants to see it. I think he wants to see it. I think everybody in Knoxville want to see it, or Tennessee wants to see it in general. So I think that's what the frustration is when they talk about quarterbacks and things of that nature, is because the defense seemed like it's coming together in the portal, but they just now confused that, okay, who's the guy throwing the ball, because that's going to be the glue of it all.
Yeah, and I think in 2022 they were close to having that, and then Hendon Hooker gets hurt. And that defense, I think, ended up around 22 points a game allowed, and that was including the 85 million points South Carolina scored in that game, where to this day people in Tennessee still believe that there was something fishy going on there with how much South Carolina knew everything that was happening that night. I don't know one way or the other. I have no opinion on the matter because it looked weird, but, I mean, Williams-Brice Stadium at night, weird things happen. Like that, I'm not going to make an accusation there. I will say it was weird at times that night, but I've seen Tennessee go to that stadium at night and have stuff on the line and not get it done before. So I'm not assuming anything there. But what I'm saying is that team was pretty close to being complete, but the defense wasn't elite, but it was solid. There were some good players there, and they were able to score at will on everybody that year, and that team was close to being complete. And, of course, then the next season you were better, defensively, but not as much offensively. And then you were better offensively, but not as good defensively. And so it's been, to your point, yes, that's where things have been. And it's just, I think that gets back to how difficult it is to budget and get a complete roster put together, because you're turning this thing over on an annual basis now. And unless you have just an unlimited pile of money, and Tennessee's got a bigger pile than most. Mm-hmm. Now, there's a handful of teams that have a bigger pile, but Tennessee's got a bigger pile than a majority of Power 4 conference teams, no question about that. Like top 10 pockets. But there's still a difference. When you're a top 10 pocket and not like a top 3 or 4 or 5 pocket, there's still just a couple pieces there that you just can't necessarily afford, or you have to make more decisions. So you just have to get it right.
Right.
And it just gives you the margin for error changes just a little bit. You've still got some, but you don't have – it's not like where – again, I say this, like Miami this season, where they're just like, let's just – what's it take? Let's just go get these guys and figure it out. Mm-hmm. And Texas Tech got to the playoff too by doing that, by saying, you know what, let's just buy everybody we can buy. And, hey, I'm not hating on it, because it ain't illegal. And I don't think there's anything shameful about it either. You're trying to win. They're trying to win. You try to win your way. They try to win their way. And that's how it goes. But it's just, I think it's good that Tennessee's been more aggressive in the portal this cycle, because they needed to be. Yeah. Because I think they're, for the most part, reading the room, and they're seeing what's getting it done in college football right now. Older guys. So I think they're going in and getting some of these guys where it's like, hey, if I can have 2 or 3 years of a player I already have, and I think he could be pretty good, but I get 1 year of a player who I'm pretty darn sure is going to be pretty good, I'll take that, because ain't nothing guaranteed behind that next year anyway. So, But again, there's something about the assignment that Tennessee, I do think it understands, but it hasn't completed yet. Just like a completed pass. Get where I'm going with this? Double entendres. We'll be right back here to discuss that right here with Elijah Nixon and with Daniel and with Wes Rucker right here on 10 at 3. Secret time?
Oh, yeah, it's
secret time.
We're on YouTube, we're in commercial on 10+.
Do you think people knew that we were talking about quarterback there?
No.
Do you think they knew, hey, guys, what we're teasing here, there's one assignment they haven't completed yet, like a completed pass. It's my dad jokes. I can't.
All right.
I had one last night, too. At the end of that game, when the Steelers kicked the PAT, Fairbairn did, that went under, or the Texans did, that went under the bar. Mm-hmm. And I was like, somebody bet the under and under the crossbar. Hey-o. I was like, I'm telling you, man, with the wife pregnant again, the number of dad jokes are just
coming in.
It happens organically now. It's true. It's a real phenomenon. I'm telling you, the more children you have, the more dad jokes just enter your brain. And you just get cornier and cornier and cornier.
That's crazy you say
every single day.
So my dad, mom, both have 6 kids. People think my dad is the funniest person in the world, and I don't see how.
Because he has the power of 6 children's worth of dad jokes.
I think he's so lame.
But I mean, we got to bring him on the show one day, and then we'll let the people decide.
Oh man, he does. That's be a trip. That'll be a trip.
I think we should do it.
That would be a trip.
That's what I think we should
do. I got a funny story about that. We went to I went to go get a haircut. I went to barber shop, and the dude came in there and looked at me and was like, "Man, I know you from somewhere." I said, "Where do you know me from?" He was like, "Your parents went to it's a school over here, East Austin East."
Austin East. The Road Runners.
My dad never stepped foot in Tennessee a day in his life. So I called my dad. I'm like, "You went to Austin East?" He said, "Oh, he must have knew about my past." No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
Welcome back to 10 to 3. We had a good secret time there talking about some dad jokes, some Austin East Road Runners. Still, in my opinion, the best entrance. There's a couple entrances in East Tennessee high school football that are really cool. One of them has always been Oak Ridge, walking single file down that gigantic hill. It looks like they have like 175 kids on the team because they're going down there. Yeah. And then when Austin East takes the field, and the PA man it's a great day to be a road runner. I loved it. I hope they're still doing that because I covered a few games there when they did that, and I was like, this is awesome. I love it. I love it. You know what Tennessee fans would love, Elijah, is adding a veteran quarterback in the transfer portal, which we talked about understanding the assignment and how Josh Heupel, I would say, we talk about the difference in what I think and what I know. I can't sit here and say I know for certain that he totally understood the assignment, but I think pretty strongly that he has. Mm-hmm. Because he has retooled most of the things that you look at and go, that needed to change, right? As talented a kicker as Tennessee had, with as many bad times as there were in bad moments this season, probably made sense for all sides involved to make a change. Tennessee's made a change. He's gone over to Arkansas, and they've brought in Ranvier, the kicker from Louisville, right? A guy who's young and has a nice leg and kicked a bunch of 50-plus yarders. So then the defense, cleaning house there, retooling the secondary, keeping Ty Redmond, keeping Idris Farouk, but also having difficult conversations with some guys and kind of letting them go and bringing in guys who are more proven players at this level, right? And so, also making a decision on not, Ricky Gibson kind of spending that money elsewhere and getting some of these other guys instead. I think that's a pretty clear understanding of the assignment. We'll know when the proof's in the pudding, so we'll know that then. But I think there's reason to suspect he has. Now you go look at the quarterback situation, and that has not gotten done yet. I am interested to see what Tennessee does now, where it goes now, because something could still shake loose. There could be a guy who has not even entered the portal yet who could see that Tennessee and others are still looking for an active quarterback, and that player has an agent who says, by the way, there's some desperate people in this portal now, son, so if you want to go ahead and get in the portal now, you're going to get a big pay raise from either your current school or somebody else. Right. So there might be guys who are available now who wouldn't be. So let's not, again, we'll judge the window when it closes. And then we'll have final judgment once the season is played. But Tennessee has made an effort at quarterback, has made pretty strong offers to some of these guys, but so have other people. Right. And Sam Leavitt chose to go with Lane Kiffin. Hey, that you can't sit here and say with the guy's history of quarterbacks that's a bad decision. It's a decision that he made, and it wasn't Tennessee. And so now, the Mizzou quarterback's gone to Virginia, some other guys. We'll see what's going on there. Right now, college football is zigging. They're going with older quarterbacks, grown men with experience, and those guys are getting their teams to the playoff. That's what's happening. Tennessee, if it does not go get a quarterback, a proven quarterback, a veteran quarterback, then Tennessee will be zagging when everybody else is zigging, because almost everybody else is that's trying to compete, that thinks they should be in the playoff next season or could be in the hunt. Most of those teams are going to have older quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee would have, hey, 2 5-star freshmen, but they're still freshmen. And that is, if it goes that way, it's a risk. It's a risk because that's not what football is right now at the college level. It's just not.
I agree with you. I think that they and first and foremost, I think they will have to get experienced guy only because with Faison coming in, I think Faison would take over the helm by a year or two. Honestly, so I just think they have to go with an older quarterback and not try to even invest into something that's going to take 2 years to put something down. Now, with that being said, is who's still in the portal? I don't know if that's Tennessee thing, but I think that what you just said you just knocked a couple people on the head. There may be somebody that's willing to get out and try to get in and know that Tennessee needs a quarterback and want to be desperate enough to come over. Not desperate. I don't want to say desperate. Want to come to Tennessee and compete. That's the thing that I think will happen with Josh Heupel. And I don't know who's available right now or what quarterbacks may want to do that. But right now, that's what it looks like. Because, the situation with Joey Aguilar, it handcuffed not only Joey Aguilar, but it handcuffed Tennessee. Because you don't know what can happen after them postponing them, the hearing that's going to be after the transfer portal. That's no guarantees for Tennessee at all. So, with that being said, I think that can happen. I think somebody will enter the portal, no contact clause. You know how they do with that. No contact clause, because I think Tennessee's already probably got some ears open with how they want to handle things, and we'll see what happens. I think the main guy that they really wanted declared for the draft, and I think it was Ty Simpson. I think that was the guy that they really
he's still getting last minute offers, so there's still, unless something's happened this morning that I haven't seen, there are still people who are like, "Are you sure about that?" Mm-hmm. I mean, I've heard some large numbers being thrown in his direction, almost like maybe even slightly more than Carson Beck money to get him to come back for a season. Because you look at that, and right now, the quarterback from Longstreet, the quarterback from SC, has not committed anywhere yet. But right now, and this is at least according to the ratings from my former coworkers there at 24/7 Sports, other than the quarterback from SC, the top rated quarterback in the portal who has not picked a place yet is, drumroll, Jake Merklinger. So, yeah, I mean, they're – and, again, that's one rating system, right? Somebody else could have different rating systems. On3, Rivals, those guys, ESPN. There's different people out there, right? And I just – there are other guys out there who maybe would be better than Merklinger. But then again, maybe Merklinger ends up being a good player somewhere. Like, I was never enamored with him as a prospect. When I watched him, I never went, yeah, that's a, but again, I stress this, Elijah. There's so much we don't see
for sure
at a Tennessee football practice.
For sure.
Once, like, a couple weeks are done in preseason camp, we ain't seeing squat the rest of the year. We're just not. We don't. And so we see spring a little bit. We see the spring game. And then we see sometimes the most portal or the most practice film we see is when guys go into the portal, and they release their own video, and you see some practice clips that way. I mean, that's the closest that we get. So, again, I can't – so when we say these things, we're going based off what we hear more so than ever, because we used to be able to at least see parts of practice. And so that would give you more intelligence, firsthand knowledge going into looking at something. Now, we kind of got to go with what we see.
Right.
And so, again, what's going to happen with Merklinger? I don't know. I mean, he hadn't committed anywhere, so we'll see. But I think right now, if you're Tennessee, you're kind of hoping that something shakes loose here. Because with Joey Aguilar, we don't know what's going on there. He could still technically, I suppose, get that final year of eligibility, but it's not going to happen before the portal closes.
No.
And because that came out yesterday, the judge in the case said, I understand your sense of urgency here, but I got other things on my docket. You know, I don't have time to get a hearing this week. So they hope to get it scheduled in a couple weeks. But again, you know, at that point, what can you do? So at that point, I guess you could be like, hey, if you didn't sign anybody else, Joey, you want to come on back? I mean, yeah, they'd be fine with that.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, they would still have to be pretty active because if you had to bet right now, I'd say it's less than 50-50 that he gets that year, certainly. So you're having to say, hey, we love you, Joey, but we got to go get somebody. And if we do, and you get your year and you want to go somewhere, totally fine. We understand. If you want to stay, we love you. We're happy to do that. So you all can compete. But it's a complicated situation, and I think you have to just err on the side of thinking he's not going to be back for anybody at the college level next season. So I think you're probably in a situation where you've got to hope that something starts to shake loose a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. Do you know how long you have until you could take your name out of the NFL draft? How long is that?
I don't know, but at that point, the portal would be closed until the spring, I guess.
We're at Tuesday.
The portal would then be open, I guess, after spring practice again.
No, this is its only one.
Oh, it's the only one because it's different this year, right?
Yeah, there's only one.
Yeah, that's right.
open.
That's right. That's right.
Spring.
Good.
That's
I
why
always
this
I get tripped up on stuff when there's like two sports going on at the same time. When it's hoops and football season,
Yeah.
or baseball and hoop season, I get my wires tripped. But yes, good point.
So that's why I'm trying to figure out if Ty would take his name out of the draft. Is he getting first? I don't know if he's getting first round.
Right now, the only two quarterbacks that I know are getting first round grades
Mendoza.
are Mendoza and Oregon's quarterback. Those guys might be the first two picks in the draft, and then after that, there's some people who have Simpson as the third quarterback, but some people have him late first round, some have him early second. Of course, it's the draft, so somebody could trade up, somebody could just be so desperate for a quarterback that they go up to 15 or 16 and take him because they just need a quarterback and they don't think he'll be there. Like that, we know how the draft goes, right? Weird things happen or things change. So I don't know exactly, but that's got to be pretty soon. He would have to make that decision. So because you're talking about a Friday, to be in the portal, and then however long you can, whatever after that. So, I mean, it's a crazy few days, and if you're Tennessee, you're kind of, you can go into a season with the two freshmen. It's not the end of the world.
I give it Thursday. I think they're going to make one more swing at him.
Yeah, I mean, they're still, hey, they've got a lucrative offer out there for Simpson. That's the one that he turned down originally to go into the draft. And Levitt was offered big money too and chose to go to LSU for maybe slightly more, maybe around the same. But, it's, you understand the decision. So I think I don't think this story is done yet.
I don't think so either.
But I don't know. I mean, it's so... And this is what I hate about this. And I know, Elijah, you got to go here in just a second. But I hate this time of year because when you're doing a live show and you're doing it for at least an hour every day, and then you're trying to clip it, get it out there. So by the time that you leave this studio and get this thing, because if you're not watching it live, we want to upload it as soon as possible for everybody to go watch on all the apps, 10 News Mobile, WBR Plus Smart TV app, the website, the podcast feeds, all of it. But like in the 15 or 30 minutes that you can take to get all that stuff clipped and edited and sent out, it can be old. And it's exciting in a way. And it gives you a sense of urgency, but it also almost gives you like a sense of futility at times. like, why don't I just sit behind a desk all day long with the camera on all day long? I'll eat lunch on this thing. I'll sit here and sip my coffee on this thing, my tea, whatever's in jumbo over here. And then just as things happen, I'll be like, get a text. Hey, I just heard this. Hey, I just heard this. And we're not going to clip this later because it's not going to matter later, but this is what I'm hearing right now. I mean, that's just have like the just like a live spoken version of Twitter, basically.
I give it
like that would be what it is. Because that's what's going on right now.
I give it to Thursday. I think they're gonna sway Ty Simpson to come back. I give it to Thursday. I don't know what time the portal closes on Friday.
I'm guessing end of business, probably.
Right, 6:00 probably.
something like that, or
Hopefully 3 p.m.
might be whatever time is 5 o'clock Pacific time or something
No,
like
close.
that. You got to have end of business
Close
day
before happy hour.
You got to have end of business day for the Pacific Coast too. Now you got to be fair. There are only 2 time zones that matter in this country, but that's the other one. So the other ones. Meh.
Do you know, Daniel? Did you look it up?
Yeah, it looks like Friday, January 16th at 11:59 p.m.
There you go.
Players have 48 hours after they notify their school to be officially entered by compliance. I'll let you all explain what that means.
That means basically that you get cleared through the paperwork gets done, you're admitted to the university, and you're posted officially to the university's system, and you're eligible to be on the football team. That's basically what all that means. And talk about a job I would not do for all of King Solomon's gold. Compliance, NCAA compliance, Dr. No. Although they used to be known as Dr. No, now they're probably known as Dr. Maybe. Doctor, who knows?
Right.
I mean, that's kind of Dr. No is now Dr. Who knows because ain't nobody know. I don't know. They don't know. NCAA doesn't know.
Right.
Judges, they just go to judges and say, "What do you know?" And then judges say what they rule, and then okay, cool, we'll do that. I mean, it's the Wild West out there. Which is exciting in a way, but also it's a bit much. It's a bit extra. It's a bit. There'll be part of me that will be very, very excited when the portal is closed.
Oh, me too. I know 80% of me.
Like it would be nice because at that point, hopefully the amount of messages will go down at that point. You can just kind of chill a little bit. Like but you don't chill, of course, because basketball has started in conference play. We're going to talk about that before we get out of here. We'll do that in the third segment when Elijah ain't here. But it's never slow.
No.
Because the portal closes. Well, guess what, guys? SEC conference basketball season is here. Then it's postseason basketball. And before that, college baseball season starts. And college baseball season matters quite a bit in Knoxville, Tennessee. So, and softball too. So there's always a billion things getting cranked up and going. But before we let you go here, Elijah, before you step out of here at the end of this segment, what your thoughts on the Rams still being in the playoffs and Emily Ray Cochran's Philadelphia Eagles being eliminated? EAGLES, eliminated.
The Eagles, I thought they would make it to the NFC Championship game. I thought they were talented enough. I mean,
Niners got that postseason dog in them.
Yeah, it hit them. I feel bad. I know M wanted to go back to back, but somebody else got to win this year, and I think it'll be my Rams. I don't feel. I'm not trying to sound like this, but I'm not too amped about Chicago. I think Chicago's I think we will hang 40 on them. It's that next round where I think we see Seattle.
You better be ahead of them by 10 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
You better be ahead of them by 15, 20 in the fourth quarter.
I think it's Seattle. I think Seattle next round. I think we will beat Seattle, but Seattle gives me more worries because we saw.
You think
twice.
going into Seattle, beating that team, that defense, you think?
I think we could do that. I think it's going to be tough, though. I think because this is our third time seeing them. Both games are decided by, I think our game was decided by 1 when we won, and then when they beat us, it was decided by 2. So it's not like it's a tit for tat.
Well, it's the NFL. It's not going to be a rout or anything, probably. I mean, all these games have been great, but, I still think you shouldn't nobody should have let the Bills circle the wagons in the opener. Now they're going to Denver. That's
the one to watch.
I don't.
That's the one to watch.
I think you better be careful there. But you know what, Elijah? Thank you for being here with us today and giving us a few more minutes than you'd planned on. I know you got stuff to go do, so we'll let you step aside. Then we'll have secret time. We'll talk about you when you walk out, and then we'll come back and talk a little Tennessee basketball right here on 10 at 3. Secret time, exit time.
So can they hear you during secret time?
Oh, yeah, we're still live on YouTube.
Yeah, we're live. That's why he's going to move the camera over now. We're moving. We're getting situated.
I'm letting them watch you leave.
No, don't let them watch me leave.
All right, so it's not to let them watch
I'm playing.
Turn his mic off.
Yeah. See, bud.
Elijah,
You know what?
what's that?
That right there, the man who just exited, is the nicest man in this town.
He's great.
I've very rarely, I'm not going to say never, I've very rarely in my life been around someone who makes people as happy as consistently as Elijah does. If the happiest camera that you will ever see is the one walking behind him, like a POV shot of him walking around, and just everybody like having their day brightened. That's seriously what it is.
Absolutely.
That-
Great representation of Connecticut in the South.
Yes, yes. New Haven, Connecticut, not just known for pizza, also nice guys,
Nice guy.
right?
Nice guy Nixon.
Nice guy Elijah, nice guy Nixon, who's very excited about his Rams and should be. They're still kicking. They're still there. Byron Young tanking the boys, and Emily. That was a bad beat. Emily took that one pretty hard. She's been a little bit now. She'll put on a good face. Hopefully, we go cover the game tonight at Food City Center, and hopefully, she's going to put on a brave face and go out there and do the work.
She always does.
But and for them to lose, and one of the scores was that Jawan Jennings touchdown pass. If you go back and look at it, she had that post on Twitter that was like, literally any other day, Jawan, not today. Any other day, Jawan, any other day. But you know what? Dogs are going to dog. Dogs will dog. It's wild. Welcome back to 10 at 3. Now, just with Wes Rucker and with Mr. Daniel back there on the ones and twos. Elijah has gone to start punching things up for some 4 o'clock, some 5:30, some 6 o'clock stuff. Tonight, by the way, going to Food City Center, Tennessee against Texas A&M. I believe Emily and I will be taking the big rig down there. I think Elijah will stay here and anchor. I don't want to speak out of turn, but that's my most recent understanding of the plan for this evening. So that's where we will be this evening. And we might even do one of those fun 2 shots where me being like 2 feet taller than Emily and her standing on the top of a chair or a little, sometimes she stands on top of the suitcase just to make the height difference a little bit less noticeable.
TV magic.
It's not TV magic anymore because I've just discussed it out loud, but that's what I do. No secrets, no filter. It takes everything I got, and I've never had a hot mic moment, never. But the amount of energy that takes for the son of a retired contractor and farmer, and a guy who played baseball most of his life, like the effort that it takes to keep this language family friendly, it's like I can do that. But in order to do that, I have to sap almost all of my powers. So other things can sometimes get lost in the wash because I'm rule number one is rule number one. Don't say words that you normally say. Just try to. And some would say, why don't you just get more mature and clean up the act? You're about to be a father of 2. I'm like, well, yeah, but I mean, I think actions mean more than words. I don't want to offend anybody. I don't. But I've always said, for the most part, sticks and stones. But again, you can't project your own ethics or morality on the world writ large. Like everybody's got their own code. So I try to be respectful, try to be mindful, but to do that, it takes away from other powers. It just does. Normally, if I could take that, maybe I might be able to fly if I could not have to do that. You hear that? You hear that, bosses? You just let me say whatever I want. I might be able to fly. Think about that. And I don't mean like metaphorically, I mean literally fly. Who knows? My son wants a jetpack. Maybe we can get one. His mom would love that. Tennessee basketball tonight. Big game. And an interesting game of styles. And you've got this Texas A&M team, which you talk about the difference between buzzball to buckyball in 1 year. They've gone from like rock fight to like space lasers. They are putting up a stupid number of points on a routine basis. Now that also means they're giving up a lot of points, right? That's how things go. So tonight, that clash of styles with Tennessee wanting to put the handcuffs on them and them wanting to fly around, that to me is fun. You know why? Styles make fights. Styles make fights. In every sport, styles make fights. And I think this is a really, really interesting one because A&M forces a lot of turnovers. I think third most in Power 4 conference basketball. I think it's something like 16.2 turnovers forced per game and 9.6 steals per game, both of those third in Power 4 basketball. And we know what Tennessee's turnover percentage is. We know that the turnovers and free throws are the only things preventing this Tennessee team from being ranked in the top 10 right now. We know this. We've seen the games. You don't have to have a PhD in ball to watch this and see, hey, they're doing all other things all right. They're offensive rebounding at a ridiculous level. They're playing, for the most part, really good defense, like they always do. If they would just not turn the ball over every 3 possessions and make a few more free throws, they're right there competing again. Could be a third straight Elite Eight. Could be more. A lot of people are so checked out on this team. I'm not. I still see the potential there. But the flaws that have to get corrected are obvious. And we heard Rick Barnes talk about that yesterday. And we'll hear freshman forward Dwayne Brown talk about that now. And Dwayne Brown, of course, is someone who, as a freshman, Rick Barnes says is one of his most consistent performers day in and day out. And that's why he's out there starting, despite having results that go up and down as they do with most freshmen, because consistently the young man is doing, for the most part, what he wants him to do. And he's been the biggest surprise on the team. He was a nice prospect, wasn't a huge prospect, but he's someone who fits what Tennessee wants and someone the staff loves and someone who's really physically tough, really mentally tough, smart, and could be a 3 or 4 year really good college basketball player. So we'll talk a little bit more about that, about this game. But before that, we'll let Dwayne Brown talk about that. This game, talk about the game against Florida, the problems, talk about what's going on in this game against A&M, and more. Here's Tennessee freshman forward Dwayne Brown II.
What was it like watching the tape back, I guess, yesterday with Rick Barnes and the coaching staff?
I mean, it was good, but I mean, we just got to take it as a learning experience, get ready to grow from it, and it's a quick turnaround, so we got to get ready to move on to the next game.
What was their main message during that film session?
That we can be way better than we are sometimes, and that it's a lot of room for improvement, but we have to do it ourselves every day and practice and on the court.
What's keeping y'all from that improvement?
Really, I don't really think it's anything keeping us from it. I just think that as a team, we all just got to come together and play more together sometimes. And I mean, we got to look at ourselves in the mirror and just understand that if we want to be good, then we have to do the things that coach is telling us.
Do you think everybody understands that message? You think in the locker room, from a leadership standpoint, from players, everybody's gets coach's message?
I do think everybody getting coach's message is just going to come to the fact that when is everybody going to actually do it and take action.
As a freshman, you've already come so far this season. If you think about it, last year you were playing Alabama high school basketball. So coaches just praised your efforts, but what are you focusing on for this next game with Texas A&M?
Me personally, I definitely need to focus on my defense and just playing harder and playing much faster and matching the physicality of the team that we're playing. I mean, every game is different. Every game is going to be ref differently, so it's just kind of got to be able to adjust to each game and then play better from there.
Having gone through 3 games in the league now, how would you describe the physicality? Because you didn't play in the Houston game. You were sort of some limited minutes in Vegas out there against some of the more physical teams. After 3 games in the league, what do you describe the physicality of this league like?
I mean, it's definitely very different, very aggressive. Refs choose how they want to ref games on every night. So just like GP always says, that we got to come out and set the tone and set the physicality for the game. And I feel like if we can do that every night, then we'll be good.
Rick had said that you're one of the most consistent players. How do you get that consistency out of the rest of the front court?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's just, I guess, come within themselves.
Building on that, what do you think's allowed you to earn that praise from Rick Barnes as the most consistent guy in the front court?
I mean, I think it's really just coming in to work every day, listening to what he's telling me, listening to what all the coaches are telling me, and not listening to anybody outside of the coaching staff.
What do you feel you can take from the matchup with Ruben over the weekend and carry with you throughout the rest of SEC play?
I mean, I think I could take a lot from him. He's a great player. He does a lot of great things. So, I mean, being able to go up against that and play against that, I can learn a lot from him, physicality-wise, rebounding-wise, scoring in the paint-wise, and I just got to learn from him.
What stands out about Texas A&M?
They are the first leading team in turnovers in the SEC. They're going to play very fast and they're going to shoot shots. So, I mean, we got to get back in transition, and we cannot turn the ball over.
Talked to Bishop the other day about just the difference of playing home on the road. He was talking about trying to get that mindset, that we can't be beaten on the road, same as here. Why do you guys feel like you have that mindset? As long as we're playing here at Tennessee, we can't lose.
It's not that we don't have that mindset on the road, but it's just that a road game is definitely different. It's definitely hard. You got to create your own energy because you may not have as much fans in the building as the other team. It's not as loud when you do things as it is to being at home, but we're going to get through that and we're going to play well.
That's Tennessee freshman forward Dwayne Brown II. Speaking about Tennessee's, let's call it what it was, that dirty diaper down there at Florida on Saturday. It was repulsive. When Rick Barnes after a game has to come out and say that there were stretches of that game that were some of the worst that he's ever seen from any team he's ever coached. And he, by the way, said that's his fault for people keeping score at home. We say Rick Barnes never says that. We talked about that yesterday, talk about it a lot. He actually did say it that time, so he always thinks it, but now he's trying to get better about saying it because he knows that people, for some reason, want to hear it every single time. So that is what it is. He did take accountability for that, and that's fine. He's the coach. But it ultimately is his responsibility. I would say that when someone's been coaching as long as he has and has teams that usually take care of the basketball, and these are highly regarded talents that are on his team, some of these turnovers I put squarely on the players. You're coached every single day. You know where you're supposed to be. You know where the ball's supposed to be. You're not supposed to drag your pivot foot. There's little things that are happening. You know that when you catch the pass, you need to be standing inbounds. Everything comes back to a coach. That's fine. I get it. They're paid what they are. Of course, now some of the players are paid more maybe in some cases. But, not quite as much as, not more than Rick Barnes, I don't think. But regardless, there are issues there, and they need to get them sorted. And tonight is so fascinating because A&M scores so many points that you would think that they are one of the highest rated offenses in the country. In some ways they are, but efficiency-wise, they're 52nd. In terms of just pure offensive efficiency rating. Tennessee, meanwhile, is 46th. So even though Tennessee does not score as many points as A&M does it and turns the ball over quite a bit, still Tennessee's offense is rated a bit higher. And defensively, Tennessee's defense rated, let's see here, usually around the top 10, usually around the top 5. Right now, 13 nationally. They'll probably go a little bit up. That's not normally where they are. They need to be a little bit better than that. But A&M, you would think with the number of points they're allowing, the defense is just abysmal, but it's really not. Defensive rating-wise, 56th. So that's not, it's not elite. It's also not bad. It's okay. If you pair that with a really good offense, you're fine. If you're top 20 or top 30 in both offense and defense rating, you're usually pretty good. And right now, Tennessee needs to get the offense more efficient to get up there. And you know what would help the offense be more efficient? Maybe not turning the ball over every 3 or 4 trips down the floor. That would help. That would help. That'd be where I'd start. Again, 0 wins as a college basketball coach here or player. 0 losses also, but 0 wins. My first suggestion would be take care of the basketball a little bit better and then see what happens. Because right now there are some teams out there that looking a bit wagon. Like Michigan finally lost, but looks really good offensively, defensively. Arizona, same. Iowa State, elite defensively, pretty darn good offensively. Vandy, 5th offensive efficiency, 11th defensive efficiency. On paper, that would tell you that's a legitimate national championship contender. The pollsters still don't quite believe in Vandy. They got them around 10. Computers say that's the number 5 team in the country. So look out there. I think Tennessee's favored by about 10 points tonight. At home, that makes some sense to me. Tennessee's just hard to beat in that building. And I know things are that wretched performance in Gainesville. It got some people down. But it's a 7 o'clock game here at Food City Center. It's going to be loud. It's going to be fine. Tennessee is usually okay in these games. But it's important, man, because whether you win or lose this game, on Saturday you got Kentucky coming to town. And that's a desperate Kentucky team that does have talent and has also not quite put it together. So that will be a barn burner on Saturday between two just hungry teams that should be better than they are. They're still good. They're okay. They're fine. They just both should be better. Kentucky, arguably most expensive roster in the country. There's a reason why they've been booing Pope. There's a reason why they've been booing these guys. Like, they need to get it going. The expectations in Lexington are what they are. But that's another day. Today's about the Aggies. Today's Texas A&M coming up here, and it's a big game. I think Tennessee will win it. I don't normally pick Tennessee to lose games in Knoxville. It hasn't happened much in the past 8 years or so. It just doesn't happen very often. It's Kentucky's come in and done it a couple times. It's not been done a lot. So, yeah, I think Tennessee is okay tonight. If the crowd's there, if the students are back into it, everybody's loud, hopped up, I think Tennessee will take care of business. And regardless, we'll be here to talk about it in 23 hours because it could be good news, it could be bad news. Same with the portal. Could be good news, could be bad news. Whatever it is, we'll tell you what the news is. We'll be honest about it. We'll shoot you straight. And then we'll do it again 23 hours after that. So y'all have a good evening. Enjoy the game. Be safe if you're out there on the road. Make good decisions. We'll see y'all in about 23 hours.